In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing Season 4, Episode 6, I Want to Be Him of Yellowstone. Now, let me just say that this episode was really interesting from start to finish. It's not slow going at all, it's very fast paced, and one thing is happening right after another. Basically, the entire episode is based upon Lloyd and Walker and how the bunkhouse is and their fight. And Lloyd does something to Walker that's unimaginable but understandable in a way. And I feel like Lloyd is the stronger character in this episode. Now, near the end of the episode, Lloyd and Walker do have it out and they do fight. And it all comes down to the last man standing and how John Dutton basically said, make an example out of the last man standing. And it just goes crazy from there. All the while, during the other course around this episode, we find out that Jamie confronts his biological father about the murder attempt on the Dutton family. And in a roundabout way, his biological father does confess that he was the one behind everything. Now, the reason being is that he wanted his son to have a better life because he couldn't give that to him because of what he did to their mother. And, Jamie was like, listen, I don't want to hear it. But then he's like, I love my family. He's like, and then the father's like, what family? I'm your family. This woman that came into your life is your family. Your son is your family. The Duttons have no reason to be your family. And basically he's like, I miss my brother. He's like, no, you don't. He's like, in here, your imagination, you miss your brother, but he's not really your brother. So it was an interesting heart-to-heart between Jamie and his father, which was a really well-written scene, and I have to admit, because Jamie is very weak as a character, and you see that at the end of this scene. But then the father is just, you don't know if he's actually trying to manipulate Jamie in a way or actually try and make him a better man, but it's really well done. Now, not only that, there is a scene, and it actually starts with the beginning of the episode where Beth meets Summer. Summer is the woman who was leading the protest in the previous episode, and and the banter and back and forth is great. The whole entire scene over a course of maybe 3 scenes was really good. It's really funny how everything is done, but the writing aspect and the dialogue that Beth is given is really interesting, and the equipped, smart, quick responses that Summer Walker gives her is really good. And John's like, listen, it's 7 a.m. I don't have fucking time for this shit. It's a perfect example of what John is going through with the women in his life, so to speak. Now, not only that, we do see Casey in this episode. He moves into the house that him and his wife wanted to buy, and they do buy it and they do move in, but then yet he's called to the reserve by the chief, Rainwater, and to find out if something happened to cattle or something. And he meets up with one of the wranglers that was in during the first 2 seasons of the series, and it's the girl. And his wife kind of gets jealous because has black hair, brown eyes, skinny, and is tall and good looking. So it's really interesting how things play out between one another in this episode. But she trusts Casey to do the right thing, and at the end we see that they embrace and they love where they're living at right now. And we find out that Jamie and Beth have a meeting, and Beth surprises Jamie with finding out that he didn't know that she was the head of market equity, and basically she told Jamie that I'm going to take fucking everything. So Jamie's heart's being a mile a minute, and it's really interesting how everything happened. It's interesting how this episode played out. Like I said, it was really good, and it took a really long time for this season to get going. I mean, the first episode was fast-paced, but then it quieted down, and then with this episode, the 6th episode, it picked up a little bit. Things are happening now, but we don't know where it's going. Now, the reason this episode is called I Want to Be Him is because at the end, the kid who was basically on this ranch, this boy, he didn't really have many scenes, which was good, which I really liked. He maybe had 2 or 3 scenes, but at the end, he tells one of the cowboys, like, I know who I want to be when I grow up. And he points, and he goes, I want to be him. And we see John Dutton walking away up the hill to his home, and the episode ends. It's a really well done, well shot episode. And also, we do see Jimmy on the 4-6's ranch. He's trying to fit in with the whole Texas outlook of things and everything. He only has maybe 2 scenes, but you can tell he's treated very differently than how he was treated when he was back on the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. So it's really good. Like I said, I really enjoyed this episode, and there's only 4 episodes left, so something crazy is going to happen, something big's going to happen. but we don't know what that is. I mean, with the way how this season started, it could be an unclimactic ending to the way this season ends, but you never know. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this episode of Yellowstone. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? And what do you think about where these characters are now after the way this season started? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And do you see something happening to one of these characters? Let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next review video, and be sure you tune in next week to my episode 7 review of Yellowstone titled Keep the Wolves Close.